What is it, Charlie? Find something? She does not see it happening. This rubble looks loose. Was I ever really this innocent? Maybe before I started my training. This is which sign? Intriguing.
Alright, so I guess Charlie barks whenever I run into a new,
The caretaker hardly spoke of him, but I like to imagine my father was a great hero whose spirit protected these woods. Must not be her purview. Noble Oster guides my hand. The standing stones. There is powerful magic at work here. I need to find the next moon seal.
All right, so I'm looking for the moon seal to start that new test. And I believe I'm on the verge of finding it.
My old fort. Caretaker was furious when she found I never got the chance to truly know my mother. Only the monster she became.
Oh, I think I just found the last moon one because I got to put my whole family on that altar, on that gravestone, I believe. No, his dad was 29 when he died.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave?
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon joined the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
If only it were always this easy to bring a family together. Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you can thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest, a working man, you could say, authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo.
The gods are fickle.
Parker still has to mix chemicals to make his webbing. What a sucker.
I see you found another of our mystic landmarks. These are the Standing Stones. Your ancestors among the Blood used them to converse with the Elder Gods.
How does that work?
Members of the Blood would gather among the stones and enter a sort of meditative trance. They say the gods would hear their thoughts, but the Blood never knew for sure who was listening on the other end. Some of the older texts refer to a series of glyphs etched on the stones, but at first glance they seem to have been scoured clean by time itself.
Could they still be revealed somehow?
You read my mind, Hunter. I suspect the glyphs are still here. They just need the right words of encouragement, if you catch my meaning.
Ma'am, I do not have time for your cryptic BS.
About to make a protein shake if anybody wants one.
Shut up, voice in my head that's not really here right now. Alright, V, A, guillotine, guillotine, triangle. Alright, Alright,
Perhaps a witch from the Salem Coven made this. The goddess disagrees. The great seer known as Endra Moore is buried here. Much like Nico, her powers came dangerously close to crossing the line, but she was among the most loyal of the Midnight Suns.
so apparently the Midnight Suns always have at least one witch and one ghost rider.
I need to find the next moon seal.
Alright guys, I swear this isn't me having a bad sense of direction, I just don't remember where the moon seal was.
The goddess disagrees.
Alright, so I do believe I need my dog for this next part.
gods are fickle. She does not see it happening.
Alright, I think I get this the next night then, since I can't figure out anything here.
Perhaps I should try this somewhere else. The old magic still holds.
Yeah, She-Hulk's a lawyer.
She believes in our purpose. Must not be her purview. What have you been doing, Ebony? An elemental rod. I should take this back to the altar.
Okay, so these work like the stones in Fifth Element. Come on, my man. I ain't got no fire. I ain't got no fire coming.
This does not work. What was Wanda up to here?
Domino. Domino knows the way in which the wheel will turn and shows the answers. Alright, so in the original Marvel storyline, Thanos destroyed half the universe, purged half the universe to impress death.
curious. The Goddess of Order approves. The Goddess must be busy.
We'll come back here when we've got another word of power. Alright, until then, we will see you next time, squad.
The Goddess disagrees.